Hi guys, welcome to the second instalment of Having a Blast with myself, Dainster83. Um, today we're going to be playing a more modern game, should I say. It's on the PS2 and it's Devil May Cry 2. Obviously it was by Capcom and it was released in March of 2003 here in the UK and the rest of Europe. And it was remastered 9 years later for the Playstation 2, I believe. I'll just talk about a bit of the gameplay first. Now, I thought I played this game back in the day. I definitely know I played the first one and completed it because it was a brilliant game. And then when I put this disc into my PS2 and put it up, I'm like, I've never played this game before in my life. So, this first mission here takes me approximately 15 minutes. I reckon it can be done in 10. You'll see why. I mean, this bit here, I'm just wandering around. I don't know where I'm going, what I've got to do. And the first bit of criticism I've got to have on one of these videos is on this game. The angles that it keeps changing to. I mean, I wouldn't have found that red orb in a million years then, if it weren't by luck or judgment jumping around. And there's loads of them. And basically, I didn't even know what I've got to do. I've got to collect these red orbs so I can open that door. Now, obviously in researching so I can talk to you guys and not just waffle on while this footage is on, the second Devil May Cry game was actually not made by the original team. It was made by a different team. Now, when I put this game into play, as I say, I mean, there's another red orb I would never have spotted if it weren't for just pure by the random camera angle change. Yeah, it was a different team that made the second game, and when I put it in, I felt the game was different from the first. I mean, the first game, I want to say it was a darker setting game, but had much more brighter effects, if you know what I mean, when you're fighting the bad guys. You'll see what I mean later in the video. I remember in the first one you got the puppets that you were fighting, but I suppose they're not sprites anymore, but their characters stood out and seemed a lot more brighter, and when you were attacking seemed a lot more brighter. This has got more of I want to say like an early Tomb Raider feel to it, especially this bit of the level, and you'll see as I'm exploring around later. But yeah, it's not the original team, and I must admit, when I put this in, I was thinking, I wish I'd have played the first one. But what these videos are going to be, it's going to be warts and all, basically. I'm not going to keep playing the game till I get a perfect run to show you guys. This is basically what it was for me. Putting the game in for the first time, I mean, I didn't realise it was for the first time, but this was the first time I've ever played this game. And as you can see, I'm making like real schoolboy errors, because I just don't know what I've got to do. I mean, there's probably somewhere where I should have read. I'm a typical man, I don't read these sort of things. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I like the original Devil May Cry on the PS2. I mean, I don't know how many you know, probably everyone, if you've ever watched a YouTube video about the original Devil May Cry. It originally started life out as a Resident Evil game, and then obviously at some point during the development it became Devil May Cry, and we have Dante, whereas we may never have had that character had that change not happened. I've not played any of the other more modern Devil May Cry games. I've not got any. I might pick them up, but I'm not too sure now after playing this one. But I definitely remember completing the first one. I remember a massive spider at some point that you had to fight, and I remember me and my brother playing it to hell. So yeah, that's my first bit of feedback on the game, really. This character's named Lucia, I believe, Lucia. I think it's probably some sort of play on Lucifer, maybe, the name, I'm kind of guessing. Basically what I've read, I'm getting all my information from Wikipedia. This is none of my original source. This is what I've looked up on the internet, and Wikipedia is always a good go-to place. They brought this character in to play as. Now I'm assuming that if you put the other disc in, you play as Dante, because his picture's on the disc, which I probably wish I should have done. I might have felt a bit more familiar with the character. But she was brought in because they had a lot of complaints in the original game that there was a character called Trish. Now, I don't really recall Trish. I just remember playing the game. I mean, we're going back now, 13 years. There's been a lot of alcohol consumed in that time. Memory's not the best. She wasn't playable, so to keep everyone happy, they brought in this character here. I will get off this stage in a minute. I'm pretty sure of it. I think I've more or less sorted it out that I've got to collect so many to open this blooming door, and then you might actually see some action rather than me running and jumping about. Nope, I still ain't clocked it yet. I've got to get another couple of these red orbs. You'll notice later on as well, I have edited slightly because I'm not sure if it's my copy of the game that's scratched or it's my PS2 that's not brilliant at reading discs. I have picked a new one up today at the boot sale. When you pick up the orbs and it loads to tell you what each orb does, I've just edited it there because there was a load of loading time and the disc was making a right noise. So I've edited that, so hopefully it just speeds up the footage a bit. As I say, this is not a game I was too familiar with. I'm really embarrassed now watching this, how much running around I'm doing and actually not getting anywhere. But as I say, this is what all my Having a Blast, Let's Play, whatever you want to call these, I call them Having a Blast. So if you want to call them Let's Play, that's up to you. That's what they'll be. If it's a game I've not played, it'll be literally me putting it in and it'll be my first go at it. So, you know, some games I might put in and I'll nail it straight away. This is obviously one where I just ain't got the foggiest. Also an interesting fact, Capcom, who made this game, when they came to release it in Japan, they partnered up with Diesel, the clothing brand, and obviously they must have released some sort of clothes line. I believe it was exclusive to Japan, to do with obviously the Devil May Cry series, which is something else. If I hadn't read Wikipedia, I wouldn't have known about. So there's another interesting fact. I have put all these facts in and talked a bit more about the game, as a few of you guys commented on my last one on Salamander saying that you'd wish that I'd talk a bit more about the game. So it's the same with the narration. This is the first time I'm trying to do it all in one hit, so there will be a few ums and a few ahs, but as I say, it's literally, I'm just playing these first time and I'm commentating on them first time. This is the first time you get to see me fight someone. I do actually like, I think she must have some like mini stars or something. I don't think they're guns. They might be though. I couldn't tell when I was playing. The one thing I did note is when I turned it on, the graphics on the PS2 are much better than what I remember. I mean, I don't know if it's just this game, but they are much better than I remember. I remember them, I think I must have been thinking more of the PS1, really pixelated and stuff like that. But yeah, I do like her offence, to be fair. I do forget a bit later on that you gotta get closer to the orbs to get them to pick her up. Obviously I'm okay here because I'm in a confined area, but a bit later on I miss a few. I probably made the mistake of not having a memory card in as well when I play this, because I've just thought if I start doing a series that people get interested in, I'm going to have to do the first level on this again and save it so I can do the next level. I mean, here's another place I'm exploring. There's all these doors and arches in the wall that you can't open, and I'm running around trying them all. And I could see that gap, and for some reason I thought it led back to where I was earlier. I mean, as you can see, the controls, the double jumping's not the greatest. But I do have to go through that gap eventually to get to the next bit. But again, I'm just exploring. I'm trying to find my way around. There's a bit of editing there as well, because there's absolutely ages on the loading screen between that. I mean, I'm talking probably about, it was probably about the best part of 10 to 12 seconds that it was taking for it to read my disc. As I say, it might have been down to my copy. It might have been down to my PS2, but it is really, my PS2 is not in as good a condition as I thought it was when I originally had it. It's picked up a lot of dust, so whether it needs a clean or, but I have picked one up from the booter today that looks nicer than mine, so I shall be swapping it out anyway as long as it works. But yeah, I'm just not getting the feel for this game as I play it. I mean, as I say, I remember the other one being a much darker setting, but much more engrossing. I mean, as I say, it's the first mission. It's taking me an absolute age to do. Mainly because I didn't read what I got to do. I didn't want to go online and just look up some walkthrough, because to me that's cheating. I mean, what I want to do is give a raw feel of a game that I've never played. Obviously when I loaded it up, it was a game I thought I had played, and I thought, oh, I'll be able to nail this. And then no sooner I saw this woman character, I thought, oh, I've never played this before. When I play games that I have played before, obviously, it'll be like picking up an old friend, and hopefully I'll still remember what I gotta do. Sorry about that, a bit of dry throat. I must remember next time to make myself a brew before I play. I mean, I've gone back outside here. I mean, there's a lot to be said for games giving you a cue where to go. You know, especially if, you know, there's, I suppose that yellow orb was a cue of that I'd got to go on to that next bit, but I didn't take it. But yeah, the bad guys don't seem to give me too much a challenge. I mean, there's one a bit later that I think gives me a couple of hits. But I don't want to slate the game because obviously it's been successful. It was in the top 10 best-selling UK hits of 2003. But I've not got the memory of it that I had of the first one. Obviously, because I never played it, but I thought I did. But yeah, I think I might put the first one in and have a go on that, because it just seemed a much better game. But as I say, the graphics, they are loads better than I remember them being on the Ps2. But then again, saying that, I've just watched Woodlin37, I keep forgetting the number on the end of his name, do a walkthrough of VIP with Pamela Anderson. Now I mean, I don't even know what I'm doing here. I'm looking to buy stuff and I've got nowhere near enough orbs. I don't even remember this bit of the game. But he was playing VIP and the graphics are absolutely dog on there. I mean, they're really bad. But I must admit, like, the cutscenes and the actual gameplay of this is pretty smooth. It's pretty cool. And I'll give him a thumbs up on that. But then again, it's Capcom. Capcom very rarely bang out rubbish looking games. Also, while I got a video on here, I can stop. I mean, I'm struggling to talk because it's taking me so long to do this level, finding stuff to talk about. I've just recently finished on retrocollect.com. I don't know if any of you use it, but I use it to list all my games. Obviously, you can list anything retro other than obviously the tape systems. There doesn't seem to be the tape systems on there. Xbox 360 and PS3 you can't list because they're too modern, but you can list everything else. So if anyone who has any interest in these videos wants to go on there, I'll put the link below to my actual profile, and it's got a list of all the games. What I'll say is the only system I can't get hooked up, I think. Sorry, there's two. Atari 2600, my collection, I can't get hooked up. Or my Master System at the moment until I get a modded version of each of them. But anything else, if you want to go through my list and you see a game and you want me to put it on, and I'll try and do the first level. I mean, obviously, if it's a racing game, I'll do a race. If it's a fighting game, I'll have a couple of rounds. Preferably it's a game where I can like have a few goes at or do a first level at. Go on there, drop it in the comments, drop me a message on Twitter, Instagram, my Facebook, whichever you follow me on. Pick a game and I'll get round to reviewing it. As I say, that's on retrocollect.com. I mean, I think, how many games have I got? I want to say it's 800 and something that I've got logged on there. I've obviously got more because I've got Xbox 360 and I've got PS3. But if you want to go on there, it's all logged on there. I've basically done it for when I'm round the booters, so I know what games I've definitely got, because I've been picking up some games that I've already got. So I'm picking up doubles, although I'm not paying a lot for them, that's beside the point. It's all logged on there. I mean, if you didn't know about that service, it's a great site. As again, it's retrocollect.com, and it's really easy to use. You just sign up and then use their gaming database, and it's obviously got thousands and thousands of games on there. I can review Game Boy games. It will be via using the Super Game Boy, so but yeah, you can bear them in mind. I can put them on my SNES via the Super Game Boy and review them. So that's a little bit of a side thing that I can talk about while on here. That is the only bloke who hits me all game, by the way, him, and I'll let him get 2 cheap ones in. But I don't know how it gets better going on, but it's pretty simple at the moment. Like, I've got unlimited ones of them. I can just stand away, shoot in, and they're not no trouble. But then again, it's the first mission, so I suppose it is to learn yet all the controls. But yeah, and then I think it's pretty much follow the road from now on, and I know where I'm going in this game, and I think I'm coming up to what might be the final boss when I get up here. So I might just pause for a bit and let you watch the last, I think it'll be a couple of minutes with just the sound and without me babbling on. So if you've liked this video, sorry about the ums and ahs, but please give me a like, give me some feedback, comment and subscribe if you don't subscribe already. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one hopefully. Thanks for now, bye. Here we are guys, I'm coming up to the end of the level and you get all my scores. They're not the best and I get a rank C, and I think that could be for could do better. See you soon.